Think we're good to go? Hey everyone, Oil Coach Carson here. I'm stepping a bit further back today because I realized that this camera actually allows me to get my whole body so I don't have to run all the way back there just to show you what a crunch looks like. Anyways, I am first going to announce I'm super happy that I'm going to be joining you guys back up there up on campus because we just got the okay to move back into the dorms. I'm looking at moving in next Friday, so I won't be able to practice with you guys next week in person, but the week after that we should be good to go. For those of you who are still at home in quarantine, don't worry, I still plan on doing these videos to help you guys out whenever you can't come to practice directly, in addition to going to actual practices, since I filmed these outside of practice anyways. Alright, so today I really want you guys to have some fun time getting some bouts done, and just getting experience, so I'm not going to go too time-consuming drills today. So for starters, we're just going to go through a circuit of exercises, a little more cohesive, and then we're going to work on a drill for disengages, and then we're going to work on a drill for parrying, and then we'll be done, and you guys can go into bouts, or if you're on your own, you can kind of just chill out. Alright, so first up in our circuit of exercise today are going to be lunges for easy. You're going to go again, 5 each side. You know how it goes. Left foot, right foot. So 5 on the left, 5 on the right. For hard mode though, this time, if you're going on hard, you're going to actually be doing lunge switch jumps. So instead of retreating back to neutral and then going with the other foot, you're instead going to be working a lot more on your explosiveness and switching your lunge via a jump. And you're going to want to do 10 of those, just as many as they're doing, individual lunges. So I'll do 10 of those lunge switch jumps, and then we'll move into the next exercise. Alright, so moving on to the next exercise, there is no easy and hard mode for this. The easy and hard mode is going to come in exercises 1, 3, and 5. So exercises 2 and 4 are going to be the same. We're just going to be doing high knees, but by doing this both in exercise 2 and exercise 4, they're going to get intensively harder, but they're going to give you way more benefits. So we're going to do 20 seconds of high knees for easy, 30 seconds of high knees for hard. Ready? Let's go. Alright, so there's our 30 seconds of a first round of high knees. Second thing we're going to do is just basic squats, 12 of them. And hard mode is going to be doing squat jumps, 12 of those. So, of course, your basic squat goes into this position, but your squat jump is going to then rocket you up, and then you're going to retreat right back into squat position. So the theme of these hard mode ones are really more explosiveness. So I'll demonstrate what 5 squat jumps look like. It is really hot and humid out today. Alright, let's go. Alright, I did full 12. I don't know why I did, but I did. Alright, so next we have the second round of high knees. So again, same deal, same business. I'm going to try to make this video shorter so that way it uploads in time for practice. So I'm just going to move on to the 5th and final exercise. Alright, so. Damn, it is hot. Alright. For the 5th and final exercise, we're just going to do basic push-ups. So 15 for the easy, 20 for the hard. Let's go. Whew. All right, so those are all the exercises done. I'm not going to split it up into 2 parts because that took way longer to upload to YouTube. So instead, I am just going to grab my trusty floor right here and get into what we're going to be doing as far as drills today. I would also say now would be the time to pause the video for some water, and then we can return and focus on our drills. All right, I am assuming you guys are done with your water break. Now we're going to be moving on to our disengage drill. Now the thing with disengage is that the motion of it is something that can be practiced pretty easy even without a full bout. So while normally I take this stance to allow you guys to see what I'm doing, I'm going to be going this way because it's a little easier to see how my blade is moving. So again, I'm in on guard position, going to swoop under like this. This is the disengage. You're going to want to go under your opponent's weapon, which allows you to easily go to the other side. Now, how this is useful for you new members is that, how this is useful is simply, if your opponent wants to parry your blade, they're going to come at you from either the left or the right. Depends on where your blade is in respect to them. So if you go under the blade, you switch that side that they're on, and now their parry goes out the window, and you're left with a lot of target area to retreat, to riposte. So, how we're going to be practicing that today is simply through the doorknob drill. I had you guys do this last week. What the doorknob drill is that you're going to get close to a small round-like object, and all you're going to do is circle around it. Make small, tight circles using only your wrists, not your arms. Arms would look a little too much. Just the wrist. And of course, these are going to be like small, tight circles, tighter than what I just did. Alright, so then just do that. Feel free to pause the video, and then we'll move on to the next drill, and then you guys will go straight into bouting. Alright, so hopefully you've unpaused the video now. Going straight into the next drill, which is going to be parry focused. This time, we're going to be doing box drill. Now, I also talked about box drill last week, but I realized I didn't explain it all that well. So, there are different target points on the body in fencing. What box drill is trying to do is help you not only with point control, but with understanding parries. So, if you're at home and you're alone, clearly you can't do this with 2 people, but you can still practice the motions really efficiently. And maybe just work with something with the target area that's pretty soft, like, I don't know, like maybe an armoire or a futon. That's something that is pretty easy to hit. So, what you're going to do essentially is that fencer A is going to lunge into an attack. Fencer B is then going to base parry and riposte to the shoulder, essentially. Like right here. So, then fencer A is going to receive that attack. They're going to circle parry, which the difference between a base parry is that a base parry is straight into the point. You're simply just moving your wrist from side to side. A circle parry specifically involves taking control of your opponent's blade by going around it, curving it out of the way, and going into an attack from it. If you have any questions, Jessica can probably provide a more definite, more like actual visually show how it looks on another person, but that's the best how I can explain it on my own. So, it's just going to do that, rinse, repeat. So then, fencer B is then going to base parry that attack, and now they're going to aim at the hip, essentially. This sort of lower target area. Fencer A will then base parry and do the same. Fencer B will circle parry, now aim for the stomach. Fencer A will then circle parry, do the same. Fencer B will then base parry, aim for the chest area, like the center of your chest. And then fencer A will then go into another circle parry, and rinse, repeat. Now, the best way to explain this is that it is just a cycle of hitting from center of chest, right under shoulder, hip, stomach. You are just cycling through these different positions on the body as for where you're targeting. Now, other than that, all this is that every time a fencer executes an attack, fencer A will do a base parry, fencer B will do a circle parry. And they will do that parry the entire time. After you've done this drill 1 or 2 times in that cycle, switch who's fencer A and switch who's fencer B, meaning that now someone else, the other person will be doing all the base parrying, and another person will be doing all the circle parrying. For those of you at home, just focus on practicing what a base parry is on the base parry style and lunging forward. After you get comfortable with that, if you want, you can implement a little bit of footwork. So when the individual, let's say fencer A attacks, fencer B might retreat to base parry and then advance into a lunge. And then fencer A, receiving that, will then do a circle parry as they retreat and then do a lunge after they advance. So putting in a little bit of footwork, a little bit of backward and forward movement can really go a long way and help simulating a bout, especially if you're at home alone. But if you're working together, you can choose to remain stationary, but honestly, it would do you a lot better to just go back and forth. Other than that, I really don't have much else for you guys today, just those 2 drills and that circuit we did earlier. Hopefully you aren't too sore, but if you are, we have until Tuesday to recover. Make sure to do stretches. They help your body immensely. Tuesday will also be focusing on a little bit more of recovery than intense muscle building workouts. So with that in mind, I leave you guys with a single bout tip for the day, which is work on your disengage. Specifically, we've been trying to work on our parries and disengaging, and those really help in becoming a better defensive and offensive fencer. Now use those tools in your pocket to actually execute them and make a point of executing them in your bouts today. So when you're on the offense, maybe try 1 or maybe 2 disengages, Maybe just swing once under and then your opponent sees that disengage, but then you swing back under to sort of like double fake them out. So utilizing your disengages to give you an offensive advantage and your parries to give you a defensive advantage is really going to be the hallmark of today's bouts. So with that in mind, guys, I will see you on campus next week, but expect another video on Tuesday, as well as me and the other coaches doing another fencing basics video to help you guys out with things like right of way, how the different weapons work, on guard. It's a super helpful video, so I'm sure you guys will enjoy it, especially if you're new. Other than that, I'll see ya. Goodbye.